My name is Andrew Collins, and 3 years ago, I thought I had everything a man could want. I had a stable job at a successful company in Manchester, a comfortable home, and a wife I loved deeply, Katherine. We had been married for 8 years, and despite the usual ups and downs, I believed our relationship was strong. Everything changed on a cold Monday morning when I was called into my boss's office. My boss, Richard Hayes, sat behind his desk with a serious expression. Within 5 minutes, my world collapsed. The company was downsizing, and my position had been eliminated. I walked out carrying a cardboard box filled with my belongings, feeling humiliated and terrified about the future. When I told Katherine that evening, she seemed supportive at first. She hugged me and promised we would get through it together. But as weeks turned into months, things began to change. Katherine became distant. She started spending more time away from home, claiming she was meeting friends or helping her sister. She was constantly on her phone, smiling at messages she quickly hid whenever I walked into the room. I was struggling to find work, attending interviews that led nowhere, while Katherine seemed less interested in my efforts and more irritated by my presence. One evening, she casually mentioned that she had met Richard, my former boss, at a charity event. I thought nothing of it at the time. After all, Manchester isn't a huge city, and Richard knew many people. But then his name kept appearing in conversations. She would mention his advice, his business success, or some funny story he had told her. A knot of suspicion began growing inside me. The truth revealed itself one rainy Thursday night. Katherine told me she was spending the evening with a friend. Something about her nervous behavior made me uneasy, and for the first time in my life, I decided to follow her. My heart pounded as I watched her drive not to her friend's house but to an expensive hotel on the outskirts of the city. I sat in my car, unable to believe what I was seeing. Then Richard's luxury vehicle pulled into the car park. I watched in stunned silence as Katherine stepped out of her car and embraced him. They kissed passionately before walking into the hotel together. At that moment, every excuse, every late night, and every secretive text message suddenly made sense. I felt betrayed not only by my wife but also by the man who had fired me. The next morning, I confronted Katherine. At first, she denied everything, but when I showed her the photographs I had taken, her face turned pale. She admitted that she had been seeing Richard for several months. She claimed she had become tired of my unemployment and uncertainty. Hearing those words shattered what little remained of my trust. I immediately contacted a solicitor and filed for divorce. The months that followed were painful, but they were also liberating. Katherine moved in with Richard, and I focused on rebuilding my life. A year later, I found a better job with a different company and regained my confidence. Ironically, Richard's company later became involved in a financial scandal, and his reputation was destroyed. Katherine eventually tried to contact me, saying she regretted her choices, but by then, I had moved on. The divorce that once felt like the end of my life had become a new beginning. Looking back, losing my job was devastating, but losing Katherine taught me an even more valuable lesson. A person who abandons you during your darkest moments was never truly standing beside you in the first place.